everybody. Good work today. I'm going to be just giving you your homework for this week to work on so that next week we can work on the transitions a little bit more. This week we worked on a lot on CRolls, which look like this. I also call them lazy chest rolls because they kind of just fall into the other hand. We did a few drills today, but I'm just going to give you a little reminder as to a few things that you can do at home in between classes so that we can practice our transition from the backwards weave next week. Okay. Um, so what we started with was we grabbed the hoop, palm up towards the hoop, and then I'm going to put my index finger on the hoop just like so, and then I'm going to wrap just very gently my fingers on the other side. So I've got it like this, and I'm going to place my thumb right here. Okay, so it's a nice light grip, but I'm going to flip it. Okay, so that my palm is facing up. Okay, so that's how the sequels happen. But we're just going to practice a little pendulum swing. So I've got my hoop kind of on the ground right now. I've got my arms straight. Most importantly, that's what I'm starting with. And the momentum comes from here, your index finger, and it also comes from a small lift of the arm. So it's like just a small, slow lift. So as you're pushing the hoop into your forearm, you're just going to lift. But first, we're going to warm up. So we're going to use our index finger, and we're just going to push the hoop in towards our forearm. So as it makes contact with there, we're just going to let go when we're doing the actual move. So this is a good thing to practice, is just using your index finger. Trying to make sure you're not death gripping and wrapping your fingers around too much like this, right? We don't want to be really wrapping around the hoop because that's going to make the release a little harder. So if we just practice with the fingertip grip, keeping our arm nice and straight, just practicing that. Once you feel good about this, you can just on, the next one, open up the fingers, okay? And just try to see what that feels like. It might go up your arm, it might go behind your arm. You just want to work on the trajectory to make sure that it's rolling on the inside of your forearm. So the next thing that you want to do is practice lifting. So I'm going to then release and lift. Okay? It might come toward your face. Just grab it with your other hand for now. So you're just going to practice that. Okay? Then when you want to start making it into a CRoll, you're going to have to start getting it out on angle. So it comes into this kind of hug position here. So now from a forward angle, if I'm holding it in wheel plane, I'm then going to take the top of the hoop and just tilt it in just a little bit so that when I lift it, my hoop is on an angle. So I'm going to then practice releasing the hoop a little bit. It might be messy at first, but don't forget about A, right? There's A, there's B, and then there's C, right? So don't worry too much about what happens after. Focus everything into that release. The first part of this is the most important, right? Is that release. So set yourself up. I like to put one foot in front of the other because I like to rock back and forth as I do this. So I'm just going to get into this position with one foot in front of the other. And then as I do my practice here, I'm going to make sure that now it's on a little bit of an angle. My arm is going to be nice and straight. I'm going to be using this push into the forearm with the index finger, nice light grip, full straight arm, and then I'm going to come backwards as I release it, lifting my arm ever so gently, lifting and back, lifting and back. Okay? Try this with your left hand as well, making sure that arm is straight, fingertip grip, index finger out, pointing towards the ground, and we've got a little tilt straight arm. I'm going to come back as I bring it into my chest. So you're going to practice that on both sides, but really practice this first. Start from the beginning on both sides. This is a really good way to warm up because it gives you a little more accuracy with your release, right? So if you're always making contact with there, then you just got to practice opening up the hand. That's all you have to do. You're not flicking it back. You're using your index finger to push and then opening your hand. Okay, that's all the release that you need. Check in with yourself, video yourself, make sure you're not bending your arms to bring the hoop towards you because that's not where you're getting the power from. Remember, it's all in the finger and a little raise of the arm. So I like to start with my arm down because that adds a little momentum. If this is still a big struggle for you, don't worry about it. You know, you can always do this, I call it a hug pass. So it's the same thing, it's the same path. I'm bringing my hoop down here, tilting it in a little bit, getting into position, one foot in front of the other, and then I'm going to come back as I bring my hoop into my forearm, bring it into my chest, grab with the other hand, release, and then roll it down my forearm. So I'm just opening it up like a, I don't know, a flower, and then rolling it back down towards the ground. Rolling it up towards the forearm, bringing it in towards the chest here at a nice kind of horizontal angle, and then unrolling on the other side. I like to come back and forth as I do this. So you can just practice this so you get a feel for it. But honestly, like, yeah, this is the most important thing, is practicing this and not trying to throw it or bring it towards you at all. That's what your index finger is for, okay? So do your index finger exercises. Yeah, so that's really the most important thing. Once you have that on both sides, you're feeling pretty good about it. You can add that little rock back and forth and really get zen about it. 1 and 2, and just practicing that back and forth. It doesn't have to be fast. That's why they're also called lazy chest rolls, because they're really slow and not too much effort is involved. It may feel like a lot of effort because you're building the muscle memory right now. So just give yourself a little bit of credit and remember that your body is going to have to learn how to do this with its muscles first, okay? So I will see you all next week. Try to work on this every day if you can, maybe not the weekend, but give yourself about 5 minutes per day to work on the